Alright guys, so this series is finally here. The Lupo GTI correction series is about to start. So this is the plan. We're going to deconstruct the entire process. This will probably take me, if I was not disturbed, around 5 days. This will probably take me anywhere between 14 to 15 days due because of obviously things with us moving, expansion happening at the same time. Everything's crazy right now, so the car will probably rest in there, and I will film around at the minute the work schedule. It is really hectic right now, but this series needed to happen. I've been itching to do this for over a year. So as I said, I'm going to deconstruct the whole process of whether it's 5 days, 14 days, it doesn't really matter, but all of that is going to probably come in around 8, maybe 10 episodes. I'm going to break down each niche individual step. So hopefully this content in a year's time, 10 years time, people will still watch and refer to specific episodes and hopefully gain some value from it. So again, the first thing I'm going to do is the engine bay. The car is ice cold. So let's go. All right, so engine bays first. I like to do the engine bay because again, we're going to apply the Dress V2 in the wet manner. So if I do get a little bit of overspray onto the panels, I really do not care because we're going to do the wheels, about 100 different pre-washers. So that is why we do the engine bay first. Now, I have been, seriously, there's no joke. So I need to wet sand the lights. I need to polish the glass. I have kept this car, minus the washing element of it, which I wash this every week. I've kept like the engine bay, stuff like that, in original condition that I got it, just for this series. Now this series is about 9 months too late. So my eyes have been twitching for around 9 months. So as you can see, engine bay is filthy. This is, so what's this? The last production run of the GTI Lupo, which was 2005. So 2005, my maths is a bit off. So 17 years old. By the looks of it, this engine bay hasn't been cleaned in 17 years. So what we're going to do, again, this is an older car. We have got a pressure washer, as you can see. I am going to pressure wash this, but I'm going to take a bit of precaution. So I'm going to look, is there anything that I need to worry about? By the way, there's a few Audi parts in here. Nice. Obviously VW Audi, same thing. So it's got a lot of grease. Oh, what is that? Oh, look at that. That is oil. Yeah, that's oil. And probably God knows what. So this is, as I said, this is a JDM import. Probably, by the looks of this, has never been touched in 17 years. So what we're going to do is, I probably won't foam this one because of the age of the car. I probably could, but I'm just going to kind of do it the old school way. So pre-rinse, I'm going to roll with, I've got citrus here and I've got undress, of course. So we'll probably hit the undress first and then see where we're left with it. What I like about this as well, this is all metal, so this can be polished out when we get onto that stage. In fact, no, I'm going to try the citrus first. Let's have a look. So obviously it's in the Prezol. I'm literally gonna, this is beautiful. This is an open engine bay. And before everybody starts losing their mind about water going in, I can see about 14 different points of concrete. So you guys do not worry, you've seen me. I did a nice fan pattern. So before anybody really has a heart attack and starts moaning in the comments. There will always be one. So look, it may take a week for him to get there. It may be immediately on the launch of the video. Who knows? But there will always be one guy or girl. It's normally guys though. So that should do it for the first round. Again, the whole goal behind the series, detail factory brush, the whole goal behind the series is this is original everything. And if we do end up modifying it, it will be pretty much original or OEM plus. Yeah, there's something on here. It's greasy, it's pulling black, not foaming very well, so it's probably a layer of grease. It's probably been spit in the oil somewhere. And you'll see the difference once I rinse this and then I apply it again. It'll be foaming like hell. Yeah, the brush is going black, so I'm pulling. So yeah, the goal of this series is to deconstruct the car, paint-wise, cleaning-wise. This is one of our personal cars. Again, this is a little fun project for me. I think I may have lost my mind with buying this car, but it's cool, you know. GTI Lupo, always wanted one. Now I've got one. Just need to clean it up, enjoy it, and see what happens with it. But the goal with stuff like this, I do not want to be adding any more paint to where it needs to be. Obviously the paint is original, so I want to keep it that way. And we'll see where we get to. I hate cleaning grease. If anybody says they enjoy this, they're lying, because I don't enjoy this. But it's my personal car, so I actually do get some. I mean, just look, if you don't believe that it's pulling something, that brush is white. Look, obviously a little bit of pre-rinse is going back to white, but I'm going to probably rinse this off now and then get more, probably undress on this time. The problem is when you get kind of silicon based things on here, I mean it could even be oil, who knows, they act like a very aggressive defoamer. So this round of hits should see a bigger difference in the foam level. So it means we're going to start obviously kind of shifting stuff. Or it's a good sign that you're starting to shift stuff. There we go, see? Just look at the difference. As I said, we definitely pulled quite a lot on the first run. And the foam is beginning to, it's not brilliant white yet. It may seem like so on camera, but it's not. So we're getting somewhere. Like I always say to everybody, it's all in the prep stages. The pretty bits will go in easier, they will happen easier if you take your time a little bit to, you know, put the effort in. Especially, again, we just do our own cars. This is my little bit of therapy here. How could you not enjoy doing this? This is the life. So the prep stage, you know, I'm being as thorough as possible because I know what happens next. It's going to be beautiful. All the things that I will do later to it will go on very nicely. And this is one of these engine bays where, you know, after this will be maintained. I'm going to take a more aggressive maintenance kind of schedule on it because the paint will be as perfect as it can be. So obviously this could be a case where I do the engine bay once a month for the first few months, because imagine 17 years of ingrained dirt. It may never come off, but I'm going to give it one hell of a go. So let's go back into here. This is painted stuff, so again, this can be hand polished if needs be. So I'm hoping stuff like this, people will not be nervous. This is an old car. I've kept it in its very original condition that we picked it up in on purpose. This is all a thing, you know. I sometimes wish there was no YouTube obligations, because this would have been done in week one, and obviously people say, well, why don't you do it in week one? Because, you know, we're expanding the business. We can't get enough people here to work. You know, it also takes time to get those people in. Otherwise, I would have done it. But with stuff like this, I just hope, you know, in many, many years to come, when I'm old, Kelly's old, everybody who's watching here is old, and, you know, we can reminisce about the good times. Now that would be good. You know, we can have a laugh. Obviously, the new younger generation will obviously have a ton of knowledge. There's a few guys within our industry who, in this sphere, like the YouTube industry kind of people, who are putting in the legwork. Hopefully, one day I can be compared to these people, you know, the big giants of the industry, where, you know, they're actually adding value to something, rather than going on forums pretending how hard everybody is. You know, there are some people who just keep themselves to themselves, which is what I do. And, you know, I try my best to educate and help where I can. We'll give this one more round of rinsing and we'll see where we're at. Some of these parts, though, I think it's a toothpick job. I mean, it's ingrained, so hand polishing job, of course. But I mean, these parts, to where you can easily access it, are all beautiful, nice. Water tanks looking good. Oil, coolant. By the way, there's all this Japanese writing in here. It's bloody brilliant. Really. I'm gonna get some more citrus in here. I'm going to give one more round. Do it once, do it right. Let that sit for a bit though. Let it really start. I mean, all this stuff now, I mean, this is the second go of rinsing and agitation, of course. I mean, these top bits have come up sweet. Everything is nice. Yeah, it's just everything that this will attack now are the ingrained bits. Now, some ingrained bits just never come off. That's just life. Especially seeing as we're not the first owners of this car, I can't help it. But I'll give my very best to bring this little puppy back to life, right? Rock and roll. So obviously with this series, I want to go a little bit deeper now. I mean, in this part anyway, you're going to see a bit more than I usually do, because the usual cars that I have and Kelly has are a lot more modern than this, so it was just unnecessary on some cars, whereas with this you will see a wet sand, you will also see glass polishing. Jesus Christ, I mean the glass on this, it's horrific. The previous owner did not take care of this. As I said, it did something like 120 miles in 5 years in the garage, just sat there rotting away. Well, not rotting, it's clean. The car's very, very clean. But as you can imagine, he was doing the generic kind of one microfiber wipe everywhere. So there is a bit of defect, well, not a bit, a lot of defect on the paintwork and stuff. So it was just raining or spitting, and now the sun's come out. Very nice. Yeah, some of these I'm just gonna have to do it the old school way. Microfiber on a finger with a little bit of compound and go to town on it. Yeah, it's completely stained. So if obviously the camera won't pick this up, but you know, the actual subframe of the vehicle, it's painted red, of course in the colour of the car, but it's proven the fact that probably this car's never seen an engine bay detail before. As you can imagine, grease and stuff like that, contaminants from the road, because you can see the road from here always flying up. Have actually unfortunately had the chance to bond, which is not what I like, but happens unfortunately. But we've given it 97% engine bay detail that I'm happy with. Just making sure just to give the hoses a once over quickly, because the V2 dress is about to get deployed. That's it. So V2 dress, make sure to always shake it up, get those beautiful resins moving. So I'm just going to go heavy on this. I'm going to hit the entire engine bay. There will be a little bit of overspray onto the paint, which I'm in this case not worried about because it's getting washed. So what that's going to do now, it's going to emulsify with the water, making it run, and it's going to run deeper into the engine bay. So all the hoses that I can't see in person, not going to touch with each hand, it's going to actually coat those kind of components and hoses. And basically I'm going to close the bonnet. People still can't believe this is the method. But yeah, I mean, you could do the traditional way, blow it dry, applicate a pad or a towel and wipe it on. But the fact that I'm going to leave this for many, many days, it's going to naturally emulsify / absorb into the plastics. And on the final day, I always lift the bonnet and I check, and you know, if there's a high spot here or something or there, I just kind of wipe it dry and it's done. So that's the engine bay detail, and I'll see you guys on the wheels episode.